Hello again and welcome to Gabriel Speaks. Today we're going to talk about vanity. I honestly believe that one of the most prevalent influences on the society in which we live today is vanity. And I started thinking about that when I was thinking about what we were going to be talking about today as I was getting dressed. And I realized that meant that I spent a lot of time in front of the mirror. And when I watch television, the presenters on television, the newscasters, the women, the men too. I mean, now that it's not just women who are vain, but I see that there's a whole kind of look-alike thing. The women all have this kind of hair that's long and down on either side and turned a certain way. The men have big hair. And there's there's two or three styles that everybody tries to sort of imitate or appropriate to themselves, but it's very important, and that has to take a lot of time. I mean, we understand in our 20s that grooming takes up a lot of time, and we're doing our best because we're out there and whether you admit it or not, mostly trying to attract a mate, be part of a group, and there's a certain style of clothing, of hair, and it's bad enough when you're in your 20s, but the maintenance it takes to keep it up as you get older, it's amazing, the time maintenance and grooming and how far do we let it go? I mean, what's okay to be, you want to look good and feel good and not be offensive to people around you, but then to get, to be completely taken over where you spend lots of, and you have to be, in order to look that a certain way, you have to spend a lot of time in front of the mirror and buy lots of cosmetics. And I realized that I thought I wasn't vain because we're living in Tucson, Arizona, and the only makeup I have is makeup I brought with me 6 years ago. I have not bought a stitch of makeup or lipstick or anything, and you probably can tell by looking at me. It doesn't make any difference. I mean, there are people my age that are still quite vain, but is it okay to, where do you stop? How do you, and I'm always trying to draw lines, what's okay and what's over the line. You want to look good, you want to feel, you want to present a nice image, but is it important to present, do you dress to present an image so that people will think of you in a certain way? Do you try to influence the way people see you by the way you look? Sometimes I want everybody around me to know that I'm an American and I love America, and so that I every time I can, I buy a scarf, or every time I see something, an article of clothing that will indicate to people that I love this country. I buy it, or I appropriate it to myself as part of my image of myself. My image of myself is that I am an American, and I want to be seen as an American. And are you going overboard? Is that being nationalistic and worshiping nationalism? Have we is that overdoing it? That's what I see myself as, an American and as someone who loves God, and it's funny that I put them in that order. Once in a while talking, I have self-revelations. I hope we all do. How important is it to check your vanity. I mean, you know that people spend.
The devil was vain. That's why that's why there was a cosmological collapse.
Is there a difference between
To
pride
be
and
as
vanity?
God.
Go ahead, sorry. To be what?
To be as God.
Yeah, but is there a difference between pride and vanity?
Yeah. Depends how you shade pride. Pride in your work is not the same thing as being vain in your work and know that you did a good job.
But following the style is really
Vanity
very much influencing the way.
Vanity is very superficial.
Then our society is given to very superficial things. Then
It is
because you can't. First
Look
of all,
at Vogue magazine.
we have influencers. You know, I only learned about that recently, what an influencer is. And people, I guess it's a profession or something. You will say, what do you do? And you say, I'm an influencer. And did you know what an influencer is?
Mm-hmm.
An influencer is somebody who somehow finds their way onto YouTube and lets it be known every day what they're doing, what they're wearing, what outfit they pick out to wear that day, and what nail polish and what hairstyle and where the best places to eat are. And the influencers talk into their cell phones, and they show people what they have on and what they look like and what they're wearing, and with the cell phone pictures of the food that they're eating. And the influencers are meant to influence other people, and obviously they do. I mean, they're or else they wouldn't be called influencers. And these people have like hundreds of thousands, and some of them millions of people to influence. Some people take those telephones, those cell phones, into the operating room, so that as an influencer they can be seen getting ready for and prepping for surgery. And those are the people who are shaping society. One at a time, individuals with their superficial thoughts and their very self-involved ways. I mean, and you really have to be. They think of themselves as someone who can influence because they are. So imagine. You don't have to have an education. You don't have to be skilled at anything. Except, well, I guess, yeah, your skill is in loving yourself and wanting to market yourself for no reason at all. It's a profession today. Vanity is a profession. And it's something that you can earn a living from, being vain.
And it's so destructive to the real core of society and our humanity.
Is there such a thing as
The
a
politicians are
Christian
so vain.
influencer? Go ahead, sorry.
The politicians are so vain.
Politicians use influencers.
And the fashion industry in the United States or North America is all based on vanity.
Well, it always has been, but it's
worse
it's never been to the point where it actually shapes the society in which we live. Or tells you, or allows you to think that
Vanity is a tool of the devil.
And what does he use it for?
What's he use it for?
Mm-hmm. It's a tool. What does he use it for?
He uses it to make you...
Distraction. He uses it to distract you.
Yeah.
Makes it all look good and shiny and pretty. It's temptation. It's temptation in and of itself. Vanity is temptation.
A big temptation.
And how would you fight it? Since it is the thing that's shaping the young people, that's shaping our youth, who are about to be the people that govern. How would you change?
And I think that parents create vanity in their children.
Don't know if they create it as much as they just kind of neglect or don't pay attention to what their children are learning. And it's not just children, it's adult children. I mean, college age children that think that they have the right to dictate what we all should look like.
That's right.
And what we should spend our money on. And they're managing to do it very well. It is a distraction.
It's something that we have to fight as people, as Christians. It's something we have to fight to be better.
I'm going to look and see. I've raised the curiosity in myself if there are Christian influencers out there. I've never heard of any, and I'm gonna check it out, because there must, if there are people who just by the way they look, and by the way, these influencers are paid to wear certain clothes, are paid to use certain hair products, or I don't know how that came about, but I mean, it would be fun to be one. What a job. You don't have to. Oof, you're right, it's shallow. You're really right, it's shallow. And we're all in a wading pool as far as society is concerned. It's nothing but a wading pool these days. Ew, if you can't criticize, if you can't come up with a solution, you shouldn't criticize. So there should be some Christian influencers. Do you want to try it?
Try what?
To be a Christian influencer. You're only an influencer if you've got a lot of people watching. Don't know what the solution is, but I do know that it's a problem. And that's why I would really like an interactive show. I would like to be able to hear from, because there must be a solution. There must be another way to help shape society. I just don't know what it is.
It's a struggle, dear.
But it should be all our struggle. Pardon me? It should be all of our struggles. I mean, a struggle against vanity shouldn't be just for one segment of society, because it kind of drags you down. It takes up so much time and energy that there isn't time and energy left for compassion, for charity, for thoughtfulness, for restructuring. You can't build towards something if your frames of reference are really too shallow.
And my God, I've met a lot of shallow people in my life.
Yeah, but let's try and figure out how one might be a Christian influencer. And if anybody has,
you're a Christian influencer just by being a good Christian. Let your light so shine before men.
But
people see it.
But we don't have a way to. I mean,
you don't have to speak so much.
These people seem to find huge millions of people in their audiences. Contact us in some way if you have an idea as to how one can be a Christian influencer.
The ultimate one, several come to my mind, is Joel Osteen. and the
Well, he's a Christian influencer.
and the Kardashians.
Well, they're influencers. Yeah, they're known as influencers. The Kardashians. Joel Osteen is a Christian influencer, but
Is he really Christian? I don't think he's a Christian anything.
oh my, that's judgmental. I mean,
He's
he's trying.
He's another TV entertainer evangelist.
Well, he's trying. He's
Make
doing.
you feel good. Prosperity gospel.
Well, it's worked
Drives
for
around
him.
in an airplane.
It works for him.
He didn't open up his house when the floods came in Texas.
He what?
He did not open up his facilities in Texas when they had the big flood a few years ago.
Nevertheless, he's an influencer. Anyway, like I said, or as I've said, if you have any ideas as to what a Christian influencer is, let us know. Meantime, we'll see you next time. In the name of the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit.
God bless
Amen.
you. If you like this video, please hit the thumbs up button on your iPad, your iPhone, or whatever. Put also the subscribe button. Please subscribe and push the notification so you'll know when we do these videos when they come out. Thumbs up, subscribe, notification. Remember those three things, and I'd be very grateful. God bless you.